Pregame, yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Pull up to the pregame, yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Catch a vibe coming.
Yo, welcome back. Welcome back to the Pregame podcast. We lit, we live, and while y'all edit, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Shot.
What's
good
good with
you,
it?
boy? How you, man?
What's good with it? I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. What's good?
Hey, look, man, I can't complain, man. It's Thursday. We made it. It's been
I
a
can
heck
see
of a
I
week.
can see the chat now. I can see the chat. That's good. I've never been able to see the chat before.
See, something I think they got an update
Okay.
with the software, and I've been trying to message them, trying to figure it out, because apparently it was something that you had to do on your side to click a button to see it, but now they fixed it so you can actually see the chat. It's
Yeah,
lit.
that's good. I'm nothing without the chat. I need the chat.
I feel you. Look, he's smiling now. His energy, like he's like, yo,
I'm
look.
nothing without the chat, bro. I need a chat.
Hey, yo, Vashad's gonna be happy about that, bro. She's gonna be really happy because she's always like, yo, why can't I see the chat? What's going on? Why can't I see the chat? So now she can see the chat. So she's gonna be happy. Speaking of Vashti, she would not be here this week. Look, man, she's out here grinding. She's out here grinding, great, like crazy grinding. So make sure y'all support her however you can. Read the articles, follow her, engage with her as she is on her way to Final Four for March Madness to go and cover Duke. She's been everywhere Duke or any Carolina sports team was in this particular March Madness. She was right there, man. So shout out to the Queen. Shout out to the GOAT out there doing her thing, man. Shout out.
Facts.
So you already know, if you're new here to the Pregame podcast, welcome. We'll give you a little rundown of what we're about to do. But if you're not new, you already know I'm about to tell you to do. So go ahead and hop in that chat and let us know. So for those who are new, hey, welcome to the Pregame podcast. Make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you never miss when we go on live. So what we do is here at the Pregame, we always start off with what you pulling up with, right? What you pulling up with. If you ever been to a pregame, you never come empty-handed. You always got to bring something to the function. You know what I mean? So basically, we don't necessarily mean you have to bring something tangible. We just want to see how your week was, the energy, the vibe that you pulling up with, right? So, Shai, you already know I'm about to ask you what you pulling up with.
Man, I don't know, man. I'm kind of here, bro. I got some stuff going on. So I'm a little anxious, trying to get some stuff that I've been working on for a long time over with. So I probably got a couple more months before that's over with. But it's, I'm here, bro. I'm happy. Everything's good. No worries.
That's what's up, bro. I'm not going to tell you on live, but I'm curious to know what these things are. We can definitely chat about it offline for sure. But shout out to you and everything. I know you're always busy. I know you had a lot of family things going on, man, but you showed up and we appreciate you, big dog. We appreciate you, man. What I'm pulling up with as much energy as I have. It's been a long week. But like I said last week, I'm always excited to be in front of you all. Like this is a passion of mine, right? To interact and have fun and to talk about things and react to things. So yeah, I'm pulling up with some energy, man. So look, Shot, this was not what we talked about. This was not on the agenda, but Vashti isn't here.
Okay.
You trying to do the top 10 wrestlers of all time? Okay.
Right. 10. Are we gonna go 10 or what are we doing? 5 or 10?
10 is we got to go. All right, so this is the thing, man. We're gonna have fun tonight. We're not gonna do 10 because we, you know what I'm saying, we can't. We could do a lot of honorable mentions though. We can talk about the honorable mentions because we've seen a lot of wrestling, bro, between us two. We've seen a lot of wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard
tough.
to
This is
not.
tough.
Yeah. It's hard not to do a top 10, but we got to do a top 5, bro. We're gonna talk about it. Before we get going, man, shout out to my dog, man. Look, this guy right here, Ricky. If you don't follow Panthers on Tap, shout out to Ricky, bro. If you do not follow Panthers on Tap, I need y'all to run over there, like, comment when they go live, and subscribe to the channel. Ricky's one of my favorite podcasters out here. He's one of my favorite ones out here. His analogies, the way that he looks at football, his personality, his just authenticity. Man, Ricky's out here, man. He's out of here. So shout out to my guy, man. You got to come up and pull up on the pregame again. We got to have you on, bro. Cool. So I see everybody putting in there they're pulling up with and all that. I love it. So it seems like we got the pregame gang out here. I appreciate y'all pulling up.
Hey, say gang.
All right. So we got a lot to do. We got a lot to do today. But I want to react. You know, I got to start off with some reactions, right? I got to start off with the reactions, right? Shot, I need you to answer this question for me, bro. Have you ever heard of the genre YN R&B?
YN R&B. Okay, so was Trey Songz
Break
a
it
little ahead
down.
of his time?
Break
Is that
it
what
down.
we're going with?
No.
Was Trey a little ahead of? Okay.
No,
What we
no,
going?
no.
Talk to me.
Not that type of YN.
Okay.
It's a different kind of YN out here, bro. It's the I'm about to crash out YN, you know?
Okay.
The ski mask shiesty YN, right?
Okay.
But there is R&B music. So picture this. Picture this. Think about an old school song, but they changed the lyrics to crash out to.
Okay. So they drilling on R&B music.
They drilling on R&B music, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hear it. Give me some.
Look, I'm very excited.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Okay. So listen, bro. Hear me out. I got 3 songs for us to react to. It's little quick videos. Each one's a video I found on TikTok. And here's the thing, bro. At first, I was like, when I first heard about it, I'm like, I don't know. When I heard it, and you kind of get a look like, this might be something. So the first one, we're just going to play. I'm not even going to say anything. We're just going to play it. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it.
I be keeping my cool, never knowing I'm going to have to shoot. So I'm watching everything, and bro watching everything. And I know we feel the same way. Said Draco, ooh, kill text 2, 762. I can't wait to bust it, you ain't gon' ooh, kill text 2, 762. I can't wait to bust it, at you.
Come on, y'all. Bruh, what we talking about?
Sliding on the ops to Tamia is crazy.
Come on,
what we doing?
man.
What we talking about, man? I mean, it's dope. I mean, it's dope. I mean, like I hear it. I can't say that I would turn this on and and vibe out. But I see what they're trying to do with it. I see what they're doing.
Hey, look. Drake goes, ooh, Kel text 2. Bro, what? 762. I can't wait to bust at you. Bro. Bro, first time I heard it, I said, wait a minute. They got something here. This is something here, bro. Here's something here. But look, you know what I'm saying? If some of y'all may not have been outside when Tamia was out, right? Or y'all might have been inside. Not saying that y'all were younger. Y'all might have been a little older. Y'all wasn't outside when Tamia was doing that. You know, that song was vibing. What about this for the old people?
It's up there and it's stuck. You know I'm with it. You're not the same person, no lie. You started to give up. You gave up. At first you was with it. And then you changed your mind. Oh, that's why I have my Glock. Ready.
Oh, Glock ready is great.
My Glock. Bruh.
Glock ready is crazy. Come on, man. What?
He said I had my Glock ready, bruh. Come on. Yeah.
I thought you say he has Glock steady. Like I think having your Glock steady would have been crazy. But
Glock steady would have been fire. You know what I'm saying? I had my Glock steady. That'd have been gas. But I guess he tried to be as original as possible with Glock ready. But bro,
maybe it sounds like I need to hop on a beat. That's what it sounds like.
Hey,
sound like I got some bars ready.
Hey, run it. Go ahead, bro.
Run that back, Turbo.
Go run in the booth, bro. But here's the thing, bro. Let me say this real quick before we get to the third one. The pregame. Let me look at the camera on this one. The pregame podcast does not condone any violence. Okay.
Facts.
The pregame podcast does not condone any violence. All right. I had to run that back. I had to make sure y'all knew. But this is fire. You know what I'm saying? To me personally. Let's get to the next one. You know what I'm saying? For those who are like, I like a little bit more. That, that was kind of upbeat. Carlo, we need something a little slower. You know what I'm saying? Can we break it down? And I thought the same thing. I was like, can they do that? The YN said, say less.
Y'all hear that? That's when a chopper plays. Clinging on forever. Endeavor. Rugos and Beretta.
They singing, bro.
When a chopper play.
Hey,
Yo, that's crazy.
they kind of, they low key.
I mean, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right. I just like what is the time to play this? I mean, I guess there's a time and a place for it somewhere.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
it's a time and a place for it somewhere.
So let's talk about that. What is that time and a place for you, bro? what's the time and place?
I don't
for
know,
you?
man. I could see playing that like at a kickback. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You got some people over, you chilling. You don't want to turn it all the way up, but you
Mhm.
trying to chill. So I could see it. I could see it there. I could
Yeah.
see it there.
I can see it too, bro. I think a pregame, or you know what I'm saying, we pregame podcast, so I had to throw that in there. But a pregame, a turn up, a little function, everybody around, playing cards. You just got a nice little R&B. You just want to kind of turn up a little bit, but not too much. Test
little bit,
test the
yeah.
crowd. You know what I'm saying? If they start jamming to that and they like it, then you go into the real stuff. You know, into like some of the hip hop, you turn it up a little bit. You know.
Right.
But I've never seen anybody.
The gun range is crazy. That's funny. That's funny.
Hey, yo.
See, that's why I need to see the comments right there, because that is funny.
That is funny.
The gun range is crazy.
The gun range is definitely. Look, bro. Shout out to thank you, Ecamm, for finally allowing my guests to see the chat easily. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a user problem, shot, but it wasn't. They had an issue and they fixed it. And so shout out to them, bro. Shout out to them. Road trips on the way to work. Hey, on the way to work, I was jamming to that earlier this morning. That's what made me think of the idea, bro. So look, whoever started this craze of YN R&B, shout out to you. I hope it continues. I heard they got one coming out to Aaliyah. So I'm curious to see how that one's going to go. But the people here, I think this guy's name is TT Johnson. The other person was Saint Lamar. So I'll definitely post this. Shout out to y'all, man. Just make sure y'all ain't out here really doing what you're singing about. That's all I say. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it one more time. Pregame podcast is not condoning any violence out here. So yeah, I just want to make sure that was clear. All right. So we got a lot to talk about today, man. But I think we should start off, since we didn't do it. And a lot of people are talking about like, yo, we want to hear the top 5. Are we going into that, bro?
Just get it. I'm ready. I think I can go off the dome. I got it.
Oh, you going off the dome? All right.
Yeah,
So let's
kind of a little bit. You know, you always got your top 5 in the back of your head.
For sure. But I definitely go off my mood and how I'm feeling too. So this one was tough. You know what I'm saying? Let's start off with a few honorable mentions. How about that? We start off with a few honorable mentions and get into that. So you got an honorable mention? I'm pulling up my list right now. So
honorable mention for me, probably I'm gonna start off with Sting. Not quite in the top 5 for me. But he right there, man. I remember Sting back in the day, the colorful face paint, and then I always like a guy that can reinvent himself. He came back with the black and white, the Raven and all that stuff. That was dope. So Sting is that's a tough one to leave out, to be honest with you. But got to go with Sting as an honorable mention for me.
Okay. For me, sorry, my camera was acting weird. For me, honorable mention, Shawn Michaels.
How is he not in your 5, bro?
Shawn Michaels not my 5.
How is he not in your 5?
Are we going there? We're going there.
How is he not in your 5 somewhere?
He's not my 5, bro. He's not my 5.
You're wild.
Nah, trust me. I love the Heartbreak Kid. You know what? We have so many different top 5s we can do, Shot. We could do top 5 finishers. We could do top 5 tag team.
Facts.
We could do top 5 anthems. Their songs. Top 5 songs.
Facts.
It's so many different ones we could do. You know what I'm saying? But he would be on one of those other top 5s.
And Shawn Michaels would be in a lot of those top 5s, by the way.
He would.
He probably got one of the most iconic songs.
Bro, yes. Sexy Red did something like.
Yeah. That's funny.
Bro,
that's funny.
I'm just saying. But Shawn Michaels, bro. You got another honorable mention?
So I'm gonna go another honorable mention for me, and I gotta put Eddie in there. Eddie Guerrero.
Okay.
Man, he's if you're talking about wrestling,
yes,
as a wrestler, like skill wise, he would definitely be in the top 5 for me. Eddie Guerrero is fire. The the joint where he used to hit people with the chair,
Yeah.
toss it to him, and then
And
the
fall
ref would
out.
catch yeah. That's always elite. I always go back and watch those.
Bruh,
Like
yes.
even like most recently, I watched it not too long ago. I'm like, man, Eddie was so good, ahead of his time. But Eddie Guerrero was definitely in one of my in one of the honorable mentions for sure.
For sure, bro. We lie, we cheat, we steal.
Facts.
Another one for
Facts.
me, I think I would say is Jeff Hardy.
Okay.
Jeff Hardy, he was close. He was close to my 5. But we can already get down to the top 5 tag team and all those different things. But Jeff Hardy, bro, like I think every kid was in their living room trying to do the Jeff Hardy dance coming out on his anthem, bro. So yeah, definitely Jeff Hardy is an honorable mention. We'll do one more honorable mention.
I got one more honorable mention. I probably got to put Triple H in there as an honorable mention.
Honorable mention?
Yes,
See,
honorable. That's how my bag is deep. Okay, my bag is deep. Triple H, he's dope. I like, again. I saw him when he first debuted with the ponytail, and you know what I mean. He had that joint, and then he kind of reinvented himself. I always like the guys that reinvent themselves. And so he's one of those guys, and then to now owning the company, so to speak, running it.
Yeah,
he's right there, borderline too. As a honorable mention though, man. My bag, I'm old school, bro. I'm old school.
I can see it. I only got, well, I'm not gonna say too much. I got a few. I mean, a lot of people I see in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho's a good one. Edge, Rey Mysterio. But one person who's in my honorable mention is Goldberg.
Oh, not even on my list, bro.
Goldberg, but Goldberg was not okay. So I know. I see what Chad said. He said his top 5 consists of ring skills, mic, and promo skills. Agreed. Which is why Goldberg is not in my top 5. This man had no ring skills.
None.
He was not good on the mic.
Facts.
And his promo skills were okay just because he could sit there and look mean and crazy. But he just had, like, he was just super powerful, super strong.
It's the entrance, bro.
Yeah. The entrance from the locker room.
Yeah, when he came out from the locker and he used to breathe the smoke in and push it out through his nose. Yo, I thought that was elite, bro. That was fire. I give him that. And he had a nice little streak going for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, he got exposed for not being able to wrestle. But yeah, man, definitely not in my honorable mentions or anywhere close to my 10. Probably not even top 20. Probably not even top 30. Probably not even top 30, bro.
You wildin', bro. Ain't no way.
My wrestling bag is deep,
okay,
bro. Like, I go, it's deep. It's deep, bro. It's deep.
All right. Do you think chat, before we get started, Shaw's about to go number 5. Chat, do you think throw in a 1 in the chat if you think that Shaw and I will catch one wrestler at the same ranking, and a 2 if you think that we won't. 1 if you think that we'll have a wrestler on the same ranking, and 2 if we don't. All right, Shaw, you ready?
Yeah,
let's get it. Number 5.
So number 5 for me is probably gonna be Bret the Hitman Hart.
It's good.
I mean,
it's a good one.
Elite ring ability. I wanted some of them glasses, like the pink shades. He used to come down to the ring, throw the shades on the little kid. I wanted one of them joints so bad. I wanted the pink jacket so bad. He's an elite wrestler, great on the mic. And so if he's not in your top 5, bro, I don't believe you watched wrestling. Like, if Bret Hart is not in your top 5, you didn't watch wrestling, bro.
Wow, that's huge, bro. That says a lot. What you just said at the end, right there. You know why?
Why?
Because I watched wrestling. I grew up watching wrestling. Shot.
He ain't in there.
He not in my top 5, bro.
Yo, you're wilding, bro.
He's not.
You must have caught you must have caught like the tail end WWE.
You know what I'm saying? So we had different ages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like when I first start like watching, like he was already like either on his way out or about out. You know what I'm saying? Now legend. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a student of the game, so I went back. I like to watch the old school stuff and see all the things. Phenomenal. But I'm really going.
Bro.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And that's a whole nother conversation how WWF at the time did him dirty, but that's a whole nother conversation. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a student of the game.
Montreal screw job. Come on, let's talk about it.
There we go. They just want to throw that under the rug. But he was definitely super duper skilled, right? But the way that I am framing mine is not just on like like good wrestling skills, because I picked on like just how I feel about who they are in the ring, outside of the ring, promo skills, all the different things. Like, I don't want to say the word aura, but you know what I'm saying? Like those different people. So that's what I got. Number 5 for me is the only person that's fairly new. Do I want to do that?
I'm trying to reorder mine in my head.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I'll do it. I'll do it because I think that this. Yeah, I'll say this. Y'all about to kill me for this one, but Roman Reigns.
No, I can see.
Roman Reigns is
that.
my top 5. He's number 5.
Yeah, I can see that, man. The big dog is definitely doing his thing.
Yeah,
I can
you know
see
what I'm
that.
saying? Like, granted, he's not he's not your most skilled wrestler. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I got Roman Reigns up there. I think he like acknowledged me, the whole thing, tribal chief, like very, very like marketing wise, out of this world, man. Like I stopped watching wrestling for a minute and then came back because I was like, who's this cat? Who's this cat? So Roman Reigns for me. Number 4.
Man, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, bro. Number 4. I mean, damn. Let me see, bro. I gotta go number 4. Oof, this is tough.
It is, bro. It is.
So I gotta go. HBK here. I'm gonna go HBK number 4. Again, like you just mentioned, Montreal Screwjob. But I was watching HBK when he was with the Rockers. Shout out to Marty Jannetty. Go
Okay.
way back. I was a fan back then. And then the ultimate moment when he threw your boy through the barbershop glass. Shout out to Brutus the Barber. HBK, come on, man. What we talking about, bro? My wrestling bag is crazy, bro. What are we talking about, man? So then shout out to him turning on your boy, and then he had a complete repackage.
Mm-hmm.
Then he becomes HBK, and he's again one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. The super kick right now is one of the most overused finishers.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even a finisher anymore. It's just
it's a move. It's a move.
Watered down move. Yeah, it's just watered down now. Everybody got a super kick, but it was never landed as cleanly.
That's Sweet Chin. That's Sweet Chin music.
Come on, man.
Come
on, man.
Okay. All right. Number 4 for me, you kind of mentioned him a little earlier. But number 4 is definitely Triple H, bro.
Yeah.
Triple H, I think the cool thing about Triple H is that he has really remarketed himself a few different times, right? When he came out all proper, then coming into, D-Generation X, and then coming into who he is, the game, and all, like, he just really did well with marketing stuff. He's not like your best person on the mic. He got better over time, right? But just for his longevity and what he's doing now, in terms of managing the WWE, pretty dope, bro. So Triple H is my number 4. All right.
Shout out to Triple H.
Shout out Triple H, man. Number 3.
Oof. Number 3 is gotta be. I gotta go Undertaker here. Undertaker. I mean, I used to be scared shitless. Excuse my language. Undertaker, I thought he was real, bro. And I mean, between him, shout out to Paul Bearer, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Kane. Man, Undertaker was so great back in the day, and he just got better with age. He reinvented himself a couple of times. The American Badass joint. I wasn't really a big fan of that.
Yeah.
I like the Undertaker as the dead man.
Mm-hmm.
And the entrance, he has the greatest entrance of all time. I don't think there's a better entrance than the Undertaker. He's what's one?
I'm thinking that might be. We had to do a top 5 entrance.
I don't know if you can name a better entrance than the Undertaker, bro.
Goldberg is up there, bro.
He's got so many iterations of it. Like you have to go to a specific WrestleMania to find. Like he has so many different ways he can come out. But you got to have Undertaker in there. Again, one of the greatest big men. He's super athletic. Had the WrestleMania streak broken by Brock Lesnar. Obviously, not cool there.
Which I didn't like that.
Yeah, not cool. But yeah, man, I think that you got to have Undertaker. Got to be in your top, bro. Undertaker's in your top 5, right?
Oh, absolutely,
on,
absolutely,
okay,
bro.
all right.
Absolutely, bro. Cool. Number 3 for me It was a close one. But I could not put Undertaker at 3. Stone Cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stone Cold. It was he was just he was not your best. I'm not going off of wrestling skill at this point in time.
Yeah.
If y'all can notice in my top 5, you know what I'm saying? It's not wrestling skill. It's really just more so all around everything included. You know what I'm saying? So Stone Cold was just undoubtedly he was just the guy for a long time. Now, I did hear on the side, I don't know if it's true or not, but the rumor is he didn't like to lose, and that could say a lot because that man was always winning. He was always winning almost all his matches, unless he got cheated, right? But Stone Cold Stunner is something every child has tried.
It's elite. It's elite.
Everybody, and it's the most simple move, but it's elite, bro. And his anthem, the glass breaking, all the things all the things he created, fire, bro, fire. So
Yeah,
Stone Cold number 3.
I hate the what, but again, that's
What?
another moment. I hate it, bro. But when you go back to Stone Cold, man, I never forget when he cut the promo of King of the Ring, bro.
Yeah.
You could thump your Bible, bro. Oh, come on, man. That
Yes.
joint's yo, that's one of the illest promos that to ever exist. And to have the Austin, I used to want one of the Austin 316 shirts so bad too.
Yeah.
I never got one. I think I first got one as an adult. I was a grown man.
He's like, I still gotta get this.
Bro, I still gotta get it for nostalgia purposes.
Yes.
I mean, I gotta get this shirt. But yeah, Stone Cold, man. Again, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fell off a little bit watching wrestling. When he became elite, just because it got a little watered down.
that was my time.
Yeah,
that was my
exactly.
prime.
So,
yeah.
I was watching, but the love for it wasn't where it was. You know what I mean? So, again, I can definitely see how you could have a Stone Cold in your top 5. I completely understand that, but I couldn't fit him in mine, bro. I can't fit Stone Cold in my top 5. I just can't, bro. And again, I think with him, injuries, his knees jacked up.
Both of them.
I think, career cut a little short. So, but yes, respect to Stone Cold. Definitely deserving to be in anybody's top 5.
Absolutely, man. Like I love a wrestler with a one-liner. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the bottom line. Like, and
Facts.
like all those different things. Can I get all the different things he had? Fire. You know what I'm saying? And Roman Reigns got the same thing with Acknowledge Me. Like, you'll see a trend there with mine. All right, number 2.
All right, number 2 for me, and I know this is not going. I already see it in the chat. A lot of y'all not gonna like this, but my number 2 is Hogan, bro. Like Hogan, bro. Bro.
Stop the cap.
Yo, stop.
Stop the cap.
Bro, you got to go back to the 80s, bro. Yo, Hogan was the man, bro. He was the man. Period. There is no Roman Reigns. There's none of that.
Wow.
None of this is what you're talking about without Hulk Hogan, bro. Period. Hogan was the man. He had the white trunks, the red, all that stuff, man. Elite. You want to talk about aura, bro? He had aura.
You see, I ain't saying nothing.
He had aura, and then not only that, bro, to come back and then turn heel. Look at what John Cena doing right now.
Yeah.
He can't, bro. That is not touching
his NWO phase.
It ain't, bro. His NWO run was elite.
Yeah.
Elite, bro.
Yeah. It was
elite,
good. It was.
Dyeing the beard black, bro, and strumming the belt. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Hogan is in, bro. He's in the top 5. And again, I understand all the non-wrestling related stuff.
Yeah.
Racist. I get all that. But we're talking about
just wrestling strictly
in the wrestling business.
Yes,
bro. He's got to be in your top 5, bro.
I feel like honestly, he's not. Unfortunately, he is not in my top 5. He is not in my top 5. But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I respect it, especially the way you're breaking it down. And I'm one of the things. It was between. I think I would say this. Hulk Hogan to me is the one that got WCW on the map in terms of who they were, all those different things, and then move over and hopefully they did their collaboration, whatever. But Hulk Hogan was like that, bro. He was good. He was good. He was not a great wrestler.
Not a good wrestler at all. Not
at all.
But when you talk about the mic, being able to cut a promo, elite, and again, what he did for the business.
He did. Yeah.
Goldberg. We can't even. I saw. Goldberg is not even in the conversation. No, don't mention Goldberg with Hulk Hogan. It's not the same, bro. It's not even the same. That's disrespectful to the business to mention Goldberg and Hulk Hogan in the same breath. It is not the same. It's not the same. Let's be clear on that. That bro, Hulk Hogan's run from the 80s to the
Early
Monday
90s.
Night Wars.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. It's elite, bro. Elite.
Okay. All right. Number 2 for me. Oh yeah, I forgot he did have the leg drop. I did forget about the leg
It
drop.
was whack. It was
It
trash.
was. I mean,
bro.
he was not a good wrestler, but
Trash, bro.
But
Trash.
like, look, everybody loved John Cena. John Cena is not a good wrestler.
I
But
never was a fan of John Cena.
John
I
Cena-
don't understand how he got to the greatness that he has right now. I
he
never
might,
understood.
he might have just been. He's just a good guy. I think I wasn't huge on him. I think the biggest thing that he did do was create that spinning rims belt.
Trash.
No, that was gas. The spinning belt. That was fire. I can't even hold you on that. That was fire.
It's trash.
That was fire.
It's trash.
It's not better than the my favorite one is the World Heavyweight. The original.
big
The big
gold?
one. The big
Yeah,
one.
big
The one
gold.
that
Yeah.
Undertaker made famous. That one. Speaking of Undertaker, crazy transition. It's my number 2.
Yeah.
He's my number 2, bro. You like everything that Shaw said. I agree, completely agree, 100%. I mean, 6'11" is how tall he is, doing the tightrope thing, like just amazing. And the Tombstone Power Driver, y'all tried that
Elite.
with your sibling. You tried it and almost
Facts.
broke somebody's neck. You tried it.
Facts.
You did. So shout out to them. All right, man. Number 1. Do we have the same
Number
number
one.
1? Because you ain't say it.
I don't know. If we do.
You didn't
I
say
don't know
it.
if
I
we
didn't say
do.
it.
I know I think I know who your number 1 is, and
All right.
I hate that I had to leave that individual out potentially. But the greatest wrestler of all time, man, limousine riding,
Oh,
jet
okay.
flying, kiss stealing,
Okay.
wheeling dealing, son of a gun. It's
Woo!
Ric Flair, bro.
Okay.
It's Ric Flair. He is the greatest. You talk about aura, bro. He is the greatest. You total package, bro. I'm talking about promos. I'm talking about mic skills. I'm talking about wrestling ability. He is the complete package. Ric Flair is the greatest wrestler of all time, and it is not even a debate. Period. And shout out to Rick because I got him. I ordered a cameo for my pops. My pops.
Oh, that's
60th
so.
birthday.
That's dope. That's dope.
He cut it for him, and he's my dad's favorite wrestler too.
Okay.
And again, as a kid, bro, I hated Ric Flair. I never, bro. He was like, he did his job as a heel. As a kid, I was supposed to hate a guy like Ric Flair, and I did. But as I got older, bro, and I understood like what he was, and went back and looked at what how he was moving, bro. Elite. He's elite, bro. Ric Flair's elite.
That's dope, bro. So you said you got Ric Flair's thing. What's it called?
Cameo.
It doesn't matter what it's called because the number 1 person wrestler of all time is The Rock. What we talking about, man? Yeah. Sorry, I had to. I was trying to figure out a way to get in there.
It's good. That was good.
Bruh, The Rock, dog. You talking about aura? You talking about promos? You talking about mic skills? You talking about so many one-liners? You know what I'm saying? Finally, The Rock has come back to Pregame. Like, he has so many of them, bro. Like, he literally, to me, ran WWE for at least 10 years plus, bro. At least. Like The Rock, the entrance drops, the crowd goes wild. That's enough said there, man. That's enough.
Yeah,
said there.
the Rock, The Rock for sure. But it's tough. It's tough to put him, bro. Was he the best? Like, he wasn't even Stone Cold. Like, in theory, was bigger than The Rock at their run. Like, in their runs, Stone Cold was just here. The Rock was here, and I get it. I get it. I get it. I love The Rock, bro. The Rock is great, and it was tough for me to keep both of them out of my top 5. Just to where I was and where I fell in love with wrestling. It's just the dip came when they hit there. So again, I respect it. It's great,
feel that,
but I can't keep my top.
I think that's the beautiful thing about this particular starting lineup, right? Because it's all about which era raised you. You know what I'm saying? When you dropped on listening, when you didn't drop on watching, all those different things, man. So shout out to wrestling, bro. This is a good one. I don't have any issues with your top 5, bro.
Yo, you can't have issues.
I don't have issues with your top 5, bro.
You can't,
bro. I don't.
Can't.
I respect it, bro. All right, man. So let's get into some other content. So let's see. Let me fix this. Which one? Where do I want to go first? Let's start off with some. Let's start with some basketball, bro. First things first. Shout out to the guy Carmelo Anthony, bro. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony. Get into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. And it's for some reason I see a lot of people saying he deserves it. You know what I'm saying? But some people are like, I don't know. I don't know if he should have been first ballot. I don't know if he should have been first ballot. My question to you is, do you think that he deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't know. I don't know how the NBA and their I know how the NFL typically carries theirs and how they handle their Hall of Fame, balloting and all that, and you can kind of see trends.
Yeah.
I don't know for Melo, bro. Like I was never the biggest Melo guy. Like he kind of was not the guy like of the guys. You know what I mean? Like so, it's kind of hard to. I don't know, bro.
Interesting. I completely think that he should have been in the first ballot Hall of Fame. I think that Carmelo Anthony does not get the credit he deserves. If you look like, first off, that Syracuse run was absolutely insane. You go to Syracuse, you get the championship, and I was one of the ones, and I'll take blame. I thought that there was a debate where it's like, will LeBron be the best or will Carmelo be the best? I thought Carmelo was going to be the best in the beginning before they even touched a basketball court in the NBA. That was the debate, and I thought Carmelo was going to be better just because of what I seen at Syracuse. Of course, we know how that story ended, but I think because of that, similar to the conversations we've had about CJ and Bryce, they're always going to be compared to each other, and they're always going to be under someone's shadow depending on who's doing well. And I think that's what happened with Carmelo. But his runs at Denver, especially in the Western Conference Finals against Kobe, the runs they did, his scoring titles, his 10, I think it's like 10-time NBA All-Star. He has so many accolades, so many different. I think he's 10th in points. So
got
he's
something
an
missing, though.
elite scorer. He does not have a ring. He does not have a ring. But the criteria shot to get into the Hall of Fame in the NBA is a whole lot different than the criteria to get into the NFL. You know what I'm saying? We've seen if like Luke Kuechly, we thought was gonna be a first ballot. We saw how that's acting now. Basketball's a little different, bro. But I think from everything he has done, from even to Denver all the way to New York, and then later on he was all over the space. I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves. I think he's an underrated scorer. I think he's a great champion, and now he's a Hall of Famer, bro. So that's the only thing I have for NBA. But we can get into some NFL news. I'm trying to look at my agenda and see where I want to go. So we'll go here, man. So one thing that I've been seeing is a trend, if you will, of GMs going directly to the players and skipping the agents. And from our interview with Nishad, we saw how important and how vital agents are to the process and the contract negotiations and everything. If you have not seen that interview, make sure y'all go check that out on the channel. But there's been two instances this week, Shad, that happened. The first one was Trey Hendrickson came out. Of course, there's been rumors, are the Panthers interested in him, this, that, and the third. But it came out and said that the Duke Tobin, I think his name, from Cincinnati has been directly talking to Trey Hendrickson about his contract and skipping the agent. And now it's come out this week as well that Jerry Jones did the same thing and skipped. I think he got David Mogetta, as his agent, and skipping him and talking straight to Micah and sending him the contract offers. What are your thoughts on this particular situation happening where the agents are being skipped, knowing the importance of having one?
I don't know, man. I think that's weird, right? I think that I don't know how you are able to go around the agent. I don't know. I don't even know how that works. Like, how do you even have the ability, especially with these guys having to get, cleared to be an agent? Like, they have to go through a process to even be an NFL agent. Like, how can you then bypass them? How is that legal?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. I don't understand that. But I can see why one would, as an owner, as a business owner, as someone on the other side of that, I could see why they would want to do that, right? You want to cut the middleman out. You want to talk
Right.
directly to the person you're doing business with. So
Right.
obviously, that the agent is there for a reason to look out for your best interest, and maybe the player might not know what they're signing, right? The player
Right.
just see numbers, but there may be clauses in that contract that may
Uh-huh.
not be in their best interest. So of course, I could see why Jerry Jones would want to do that. I mean, I completely get it. But the players, if you're willing to give up that commission, you know what I mean, you should always go out there and get representation to kind of have someone to look out for you, make sure you sign the right thing. But I get it. I get it from both sides.
I do too, man. I feel like they probably feel, and this is my assumption, but the owners may feel as though like, hey, you know what? We can we can, we have the relationship with the player and they are passionate about this team, and maybe we can just bypass and, get them off of passion or not understanding everything, and we can talk them down and get them to a lower offer. When you pay an agent to do all that for you, you pay an agent who could be the middleman and get you the best deal for you. You know what I mean? But I feel as though, and this is just my opinion, I feel as though this may affect the player in terms of them wanting to even sign there, because of the fact that you are skipping their agent, somebody that they trust, somebody that they pay all this money to. And we'll see if they have a change of heart, you know what I mean? Or that they're going to pay a tax now where it's like, since you did this, since you skipped my agent, I'm just going to go ahead and just up that price a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday's price is not today's price now. So it's interesting. I'm interested to see what's going to happen in these particular things, but it's becoming a trend now where two of the owners or GMs, I'm saying owner because of Jerry Jones, are skipping agents. And I wonder how normal that usually is. One thing that I saw on the internet is there's been a rumor, bro, and I think you kind of mentioned this a little bit, and you kind of hinted towards it during PNP. If you're not subscribed to PNP, make sure you subscribe to PNP as well. Lit podcast, my favorite podcast, Panther podcast. So they said that Netflix is potentially, it's a rumor that they would do a Netflix documentary on Cam in a 2015 season. Great. Do you believe it, Shad? And then also, do you think it's a great idea?
Oh yeah, I think it's dope. I don't know that I believe it until I see it. I don't know how this stuff works as far as what Netflix is working on, what they're not working on. I don't know. When you got Cam Newton, you definitely going to get views. So I think they probably saw what he's been doing in the media and said, "Hey, let's kind of hitch our wagon to that." You know what I mean? So like,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I think it would make sense to do it. And I think the Panthers fans would love to see it. Again, as a smaller market team that doesn't get the shine, the glitz and glam,
Mm-hmm.
that particular year deserves some shine. They went on a hell of a run, 15-1 that year, and it was great. I went to a couple games that year. I had just moved to Charlotte that year as
Oh,
well.
that was
So
lit. You had a
yeah, it
lit
was
year.
super lit.
2015 was
It was,
crazy.
I had just moved here from DC, so it was super up. I thought it was gonna be like that forever, and obviously the tables turned real fast. But yeah, no, I think I think this will be fire. I would love to see it catch up with some of the older Panthers we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Like Khalil, some of those guys that we haven't caught up with. I think it would be dope. Maybe we should hit up Philly, see what Philly doing. I mean, he
That's
might know.
facts. That's facts. I definitely might need to text him and find out, like, hey, is this a real thing or not, for sure. I love it.
October 2.
October 2. Yeah, absolutely. Or there might be an NDA where they can't say nothing. I don't know,
True.
but we can
True.
find out. But I think the interesting thing about this, I agree with everything you said, Shot. The most interesting thing about this is I don't want to relive that hurt from the Super Bowl. But other than that, outside of just the competitive side of me and seeing us lose again, I think that this is a potential thing. And if it's not, I feel like Netflix should jump on this wagon, because of the fact that this 2015 team, yes, they did excellent that whole season. But I think did I just pause?
You good? Your video did, but we can still hear you.
Okay, let me fix that. I think I just paused. I don't know what's going on here. I think my joint died. Okay. What I was saying was the reason that it was so dope is the fact that they did so much for the culture of Charlotte and just culture in general. Like everybody was doing the dab. Even Betty White was doing the dab. You know what I'm saying? So even this, every win, they would do the little points of like it was so like nationally recognized in terms of who Carolina is and what they do. So shout out. I hope it happens. I would love to see, like you said, some of the older players and what they're doing and how they felt about everything. And then some of the behind the scenes locker room things that we don't know about. It could have been a lot of things going on personally with the fellas that they had to rally around, all those different things. So I keep going on and on. Shout out to that. I hope it happens, bro. So the next two things I want to talk about goes to why I named this particular episode The Art of Grace, right? I think that sometimes people don't give grace like they should. You know, you may hear people say like, "Oh, give me grace," or you should give yourself grace because of the fact that you didn't do X, you didn't do Y. And so I want to talk about these people. These are two. One is a nationally polarizing figure. The other person is a local polarizing figure right now because of some of the things that have come out in the media or some things that coaches have said. So the first person I want to talk about is Chris Breezy, right? So Chris Brown, he got Breezy Bowl. Are you going to the Breezy Bowl? You got tickets, the stadium tickets, or you sitting this one out?
Nah, I mean, I rock with Chris, but I'm not going to see. And I think he's an excellent performer.
Yeah.
That's just not something I'm running to go see. Just it's not for me. Like it's not for me.
Yeah. So we still up in the air. I think my wife may be going with some friends, whatever, to maybe either Atlanta one or DC. I think it's cool because it's a 20-year anniversary of him being in the game for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember, like I felt like I grew up with Chris Brown. You know, like songs that he were like things that he was talking about in his songs. I was like, yo, I can relate to that because I'm dealing with that in high school or I'm dealing with that wherever I am, college. So it felt like I kind of grew up with Chris Brown. So I think it's pretty dope. The other thing is, great performer, so many hits. But my question to you, Shad, is yes, Chris Brown has a lot of hits, but does he have a classic album? Does he have a classic?
Oh, I was about,
Oh
I
my
should go
God.
somewhere else. My bad. My bad. I thought she was going somewhere else with that. I thought she was going, my bad. My bad, yo. My bad. My bad, dog. I thought she was going somewhere else with that.
Y'all have a good night. We about to end the podcast.
Oh man, my bad.
Yo.
My bad. Not the TB, man. I rock with him, man. I'm down with the redemption
Hey.
story, man. Straight up. Straight up. I'm with it.
I had to hit every
My
button.
bad.
Yo, that's
bad, yo,
funny. That's funny, bro. That's funny. No, I was gonna say he has a lot of hit songs, you know what I'm saying? But some people always talk about with artists having a classic album, you know what I'm saying? And I feel as though like our generation, or not even our generation, the younger generation, they have an issue with overusing a word and starting to like really milk the word, you know what I'm saying? Or water the word down, if you will, like generational talent. Like everybody can't be a generational talent, you know what I'm saying? Or aura or classic. Like everybody does not have a classic album. You hear the word, oh, this person has it's a classic. It's a classic. Is it really? So I say all that to say, does Chris Brown have a classic album to you?
To me, I can't. For me, no. I would say no. That does not mean he doesn't have hits. He doesn't have bangers. He's got a lot of them. A lot of really, really good songs. But I can't say that I'm going to a particular Chris Brown album on repeat like I can, Confessions or I hate that I gotta say this, but like a TP12. I can't.
Oh wow.
I can't.
Okay.
Those. I'm not going to that. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a record. I can't even name a Chris Brown record that I would go to in that vein and be like and just put it on complete repeat. And again, maybe that's because I'm not a huge Chris Brown guy. Like I like his music. I think he's great. Can dance. He can sing. But I just don't look at him in that way. Like I'm a more of a Usher guy. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I feel that. I think it goes back to like the top 5 wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Like where you were in your stage of life and all those different things. You know what I'm saying? This was a tough one for me, right? Because I feel like his two closest albums to me is either Chris Brown exclusive or his first one, self-titled. Chris Brown. Like he got so many fire songs on that album. But I don't know. Like it definitely stands the test of time. But I don't think he has a classic. And his issue recently, bro, is the fact he got like 30 to 40 songs on an album right
Too
now.
much. Yeah, it's too much
It's
music.
too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
But that's the name of the game. That's the music business, right?
Yeah.
Like the algorithm and trying to get those sales and putting out double albums to try to manipulate the and they're short. Like that's
Mhm.
just the music business nowadays. So salute to him for recognizing that. But
Yeah.
that does, when you talk about classic albums, it definitely hurts when you're putting out so much music. It's hard. It's watered down. It sounds the same. That's my biggest complaint with some of his music. To
Yeah,
me,
bro.
it all sounds the same. Like
Mm.
what can you like? How many times can you say like what you're saying? Like it's
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just just me. It's just me.
No, I mean, it's like you said, it's your opinion, bro. And this is what it's all about. And I feel you. Like some of his songs, like he tries to, step out a little bit and this and the third, and it's a lot of it's so many different songs, bro. Like I love, like I said this before. I think I said it last week, bro. Like I appreciate the artistry behind albums, right? Like if somebody's trying to tell a story, or you put these orders of songs in a particular place. But when you got 30 to 40 songs on there, bro, like all I need is about 12 songs and
Yeah.
out.
Facts.
15 max. Even 15 is doing a lot. But I need about 12. You know what I'm saying? So he just it's a bit too much. But shout out to Chris Brown, man. Hopefully we can see you at Breezy Bowl. Keep doing your thing. 20 years is amazing. The next thing I want to talk about is XL, bro.
Mhm.
Everybody has been talking about XL a lot recently, mainly because Dave Canales comes out and basically says like, "Hey, I feel as though we got our guy. We have our guy, and when you hear our guy, you think that's wide receiver one." Because in the context of him saying that was them asking the question of like, are you going to get another offensive playmaker? Are you going to get someone like a DK Metcalf or somebody? I think Kay Adams even said Tyreek Hill at one point. Now people are questioning whether he can be an elite wide receiver too, and people are talking about the drops last year, all those different things. Do you feel as though, my question to you, the first one is, do you feel as though XL can be wide receiver one?
Yeah, I think anything is possible, right? I think he's got some work to do. And here's the thing, and I've been putting a lot of thought to this,
Yeah.
because I'm one of those guys that think that we don't have a true wide receiver one. And I always want to stack wide receivers because I think you don't have a wide receiver until you have a wide receiver.
Talk about
One.
it.
And so to me, XL has not shown the ability to be wide receiver one. He can run. He's gotten better with route running, but his hands have been atrocious, right? And I saw the interview floating around where he's talking about his concentration drops and
Mhm.
things like that, and that's cool. But I'll say this to kind of jump on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
We hired Canales, right? And Canales has worked with so many good wide receivers. He's developed so many guys. If the man says he's the wide receiver one, like I think we need to let him cook a little bit. I think we've been jaded that we've been just brainwashed that we're going to be so trash every year that we kind of lose sight that this is year 2 in Canales. That's a
Come
great
on.
thing. It's time to allow him to develop his talent because that's ultimately what we need.
Yeah.
We need our talent to develop and get better and better every year. So if Canales says he's the guy, and he hasn't given me any reason to not say, Canales, you suck at your job. Until he does that, then I'm rocking with what Canales says.
No, facts. I think one thing he said that, I think it should be a reminder to everyone is like, look, he's granted DK is 6'4", but he's 6'2", 225, runs a 4.3. Like he is that big speedy receiver we're looking for. And Canales preaches on having a developmental formula or a developmental program, if you will. And this is going to be Xavier's like legit first true off season where he can really focus in on his craft and not focus in on what you have to do for private workouts or the combine, right? One thing that everyone says is how hard of a worker he is. I mean, they said that at South Carolina, and a lot of players, even Bryce, and coaches have said how hard he works. I think give it time. And one thing that you always say, Dave always says, and I completely agree with, is that it takes a player at least 3 years to truly develop. To truly develop. So give him a chance. Give him a chance. Let's see what he can do. But I think that everyone, of course, like, especially Panthers Twitter can be extremely toxic, and they do not give anybody grace. You know what I'm saying? But the art of grace is to really give somebody the grace and the space to truly develop, right? And so let's see what happens. If he comes out and craps the bed this year, then we can start to have that conversation of like what's going on. Now, granted, I say all that to say this. That does not necessarily mean that you do not go out and get some more weapons. Like
Yeah.
we definitely need a weapon. We definitely need a speedy weapon. Somebody who can run, not just combine run, but could really showcase their speed on the field. So hopefully that happens. I was not planning this, but I gotta ask you, Shad, do you have an inkling? Do you have you're stamping this in terms of, and you don't have to say, if you want to say it on PNP, you can say it on PNP. But do you have like, hey, I am rooting for this particular person, stamp it for pick 8?
For pick 8,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's fluid. I definitely think the Panthers need to have the phone lines open,
Yeah.
and I think either way, I think they're going to be able to get their guy. I don't think they're. I think there's going to be a particular name that if he falls, they're going to take him, i.e., Mason Graham. But
Mm-hmm.
if he's not there, then I think I still think Jalen Walker's going to be the guy. It's too many signs pointing to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not necessarily saying I'm cheering for that, because I don't know that. I just have questions on if we have the guy to actually utilize him properly. And I think Louvu did a great job.
Yeah.
It's kind of Louvu-esque, so I kind of
Yeah.
see what they want to do with it, but I'm just curious to see what the defense is going to do and how Evero is going to use him if we get him. But Jalen Walker is who I think they're going to pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. Unless somebody drastically falls, i.e. an Abdul Carter, which I don't think is going to happen, even though they're a little scared about his foot. He's not falling.
No.
So I feel like Jalen Walker is the guy, and I'll be happy. I'll be extremely happy with that. I think he's another person that people look at and they're like, I don't know. I'm not sure if this is who I want, this, that, and the third. Like, if you watch film and you hear what's going on the background, like there's nothing but good things about it. And we all know how much the Panthers program now, and then also Dave Canales and Dan Morgan, look into character and somebody who could really fit in or gel with their culture. And I feel as though Jalen Walker is that. And it's the curious. I see that Frankie Louvu as well, but he compares himself to Hassan Reddick, which is interesting. Based off of their physical, measurements and things of that nature. But if Evero can use him right, we'll be lit. You know what I'm saying? We'll be right. But if he doesn't, that's the piece. I'm like, all right now.
Yeah, that's the biggest question mark,
Yeah.
right? Is these kids, a lot of these kids, and most of these kids being picked in the top 10 are talented, right?
Yeah.
It's all about where they go and how they're used, right? It's not. I think players get too much of the blame when they bust. Oftentimes, it's the team that's putting them in terrible situations and can't develop them or coach them and put them in the right position. And so I hate that the players get that bust mantra put behind them, because sometimes it's not them. Sometimes look at Mingo, right? Mingo, I'm not saying he's a top 10 wide receiver in the league. I'm not saying that, but he got put in a terrible situation, right?
No,
it was
horrible.
bad.
I
You
mean,
know what I mean? So like we call him a bust and we're glad we got rid of him and all that, but bro, we were terrible, bro.
horrible, bro. So would you give that same grace? Since we talk, this is the title of this podcast is Art of Grace. Title of the episode. Do you give TMJ grace?
Yeah, man. I was a huge TMJ fan. I was one of the guys saying, "Hey, this guy is solid." But when you change coaches 3-4 times within your tenure,
Absolutely,
Panthers, that's not all his fault.
It's
I mean,
not.
it's a lot of players are not going to survive that. You know what I mean? So like now, all that said, he's still not in the league. So like maybe he ain't it, but. So I got to keep it fair. I got to, it is what it is. The truth is the truth.
The truth is the truth.
So like but at the same time, we got put in a terrible situation.
No, he did, man. I feel as though you if you're gonna place some blame on the players, you got to place some blame on the coaches, right? And we saw what happened with TMJ. We saw what happened with Mingo. We don't have to go into extreme detail there. I think one thing it's just not like a telltale. I feel as though Evero at that point in time had to put some blame on somebody. Somebody had to get cut off. But Tim Lubaku leaving as the outside linebackers coach because we saw what happened there. But I mean, of course, somebody had to get cut for Evero not to get cut, right? We understand how that goes. That's business. But now AC Carter's in here, right? AC Carter's in here, and he has a really good resume in terms of outside linebackers and what he's done, especially at the Rams. And then also a lot of other people who are coming in on the defensive line. To me, it screams like, okay, you know what you're looking for because you knew that was an issue. And so I look, if Jalen Walker is the guy, I'm cool with it. I'm more than okay with it. We all
It sound
know.
like you're trying to convince yourself. That's what it sounds like. It
You
sounds like
think
you're not
is
happy
that
with it, but you trying to cope. That's what it sounds like.
all right? We potting?
I'm. That's what it
I
sounds
look.
like. You got
All
to
right.
keep
So
it a
listen, hear
buck.
me. Okay. So
You got to
listen,
keep it a buck.
listen, bro. Like for me, here's what I'll say, bro. Here's what I say. If you've noticed, a lot of GMs have a side that they usually lean on a little bit more of like who the type of players they get more often, right? Some people could be offensive minded, some GMs could be defensive minded, right? We're noticing that like Dan Morgan, in terms of draft, he played linebacker. You know what I'm saying? He may be defensive minded. If I was a GM, man, I would be offensive minded. That's just what I look at more often, right? The offense piece. Not saying that I don't understand the defense. I do. I get all that, but I'm just saying that's what I get excited about a lot more often, personally. And so of course you look at the wide receivers, right? So looking at the T Max, the Luther Burtons, the Matthew Goltons, all those different things, right? But in terms of what we need, now you may lean one way or the other, but a good GM always assesses everything, right? And so if you're assessing the need there, and there's been a lot of people saying like, oh, it's one of the Georgia dogs, right? It's either Michael Williams or it's Jalen Walker. And I'm like, if that's the case, then give me Jalen Walker, right? And I think that he's a phenomenal player. I'm curious to see how they're going to use them, and that's what makes me a little nervous. Is like when you have a talent like that, and everyone is really skeptical on Evero. It's like, can he really utilize this chess piece? And I've heard so many different analysts, Shot, that have said this particular thing. Jalen Walker can be a chess piece, a ultimate chess piece in your team. But the only thing that will not allow him to truly bloom into what he's going to be is a defensive coordinator that can't utilize him the right way.
Yeah.
And we've seen a Jeremy Chin who said that he needed to leave because he wasn't utilized the right way. We've seen Frankie Louvu leave because he wanted to do more and be utilized in the right way. That's what scares me a little bit, if I'm being honest. And I was the type of person, Shot, where I was like, hey, I was on the give Evero some grace train. I was like, hey, give him another year. We'll figure it out. It's all about what I said, sustainability, consistency of coaching is really going to help the people like the Derek Browns or like the Tommy Trimbles, all these different people who never had the same coach consistently. And so I appreciate the consistency of culture, of all those different things. But I'm not going to hold you, bro. I would be lying if I said that I'm not a little nervous, dog, because I think Jalen Walker will be perfect. But to me, it's either Evero doesn't trust his personnel to do certain things, or he does not have any creativity in terms of utilizing these pieces, bro. What say you? I've been talking too long. What say you?
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you're saying. I mean, listen, I think there's a lot of people that are critical of Evero, and rightfully so. The product last year was awful, but he also had to deal with a lot of injuries. We've seen Evero take a Denver roster that was solid, and he took a system that was solid and did good things that next year. And we just haven't seen that great defensive effort in Carolina like we want to. And so a lot of people are rightfully on the fence with Evero. And I'm one of those guys that have been a proponent of Evero as well. But a lot of it for me, it has to deal with, and I'm keeping it a buck here because that's the only way I know how to do it.
Absolutely.
Is I want him to get a head coaching job so we can get some draft picks.
Absolutely.
Right. So if he's gonna, he's got to turn it all the way up this year so he can get back on the radar of other teams to get picked up to be a head coach.
Yeah.
I think that is the ultimate goal for Tepper, and that's the ultimate goal when he hired him, I believe, was to get those draft picks. And I don't know that that's going to work out because obviously we have not done a good job. So he's got to have a massive turnaround, and I hope he has it. I mean, it's no excuses because we spent all this money. It's the same thing for the offense.
Yeah.
Last year we said the same thing about the offensive line. No excuses. You picked up two of the best guards that were in free agency, and you plugged them in, and it worked out. Now you spent all this money on a defense, and it had better work out because everybody's screaming. Everybody, you got Dave and everybody else saying, "Hey, you got to go defense. You got to pick up defense. You got to pick up defense." And they're gonna pick up defense, and if it does not translate, his seat is hot. The pressure is on Evero. He's got to get it right.
Sure.
And injuries. I know he dealt with injuries, and you can't control injuries, but you got to have depth. You better have
for
some depth.
Sure. I got another question for you, bro. Before I do, we got 115 people in here right now. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe to the Pregame podcast, where it's your fusion of sports and pop culture. We talk about a little bit of everything. It's lit around here, so make sure y'all subscribe. Question for you. If it does not go well in the first couple games, is Evero fired midseason?
I can see him get fired midseason. I can definitely see it. I don't think there's any excuses, bro. Like I just said, I don't see him, bro. You got Derek Brown back. You're gonna have a healthy JC. Everybody, given everybody healthy, I can't see us being that bad. You know what I mean? If everybody's healthy, I think we'll get it back on track. You've added some pieces. You got Morig. You're gonna probably add a couple more draft pieces. So the personnel can no longer be the excuse. So it's got to point back to Evero, and if he can't coach it, then I firmly believe that Canales and Tepper will pull the trigger, because you got to remember, Canales specifically did not choose. He might have agreed to work with him.
That's true,
but he didn't choose.
Well.
He didn't choose it, bro.
Well, hey, I'll say this, bro. He didn't choose him, but he chose him to stay. He
agreed to work with them, but let me say it like this. It's just like me giving taking Bryce, right?
Yeah.
And having to work with Bryce, right? He didn't necessarily pick Bryce, but if I had my job on the line and I had to save my job and these guys aren't executing and they can't, I didn't choose them.
Yeah.
You gave me these guys. I might have agreed to it. And I might agree to take this job.
Yeah.
With fair.
Okay, fair.
At the end of the day, I should have the right.
Yeah,
to bring in the guy that I want to run my system effectively. And if I didn't choose Evero,
I hear you.
Gave me Bryce Young, and so that's always going to be. I think any coach, no matter where you go, every coach should have the opportunity to bring in the guys that they choose. Because if I'm going down with the ship, I need to be the one to sign off on it and say that's the guy I chose.
Bro, so you lawyer, bro, W shot. He is a lawyer. He could be. He's bro.
I'm not a lawyer, bro. You don't want me on your defense team.
You've been talking to Shad. You've been talking to Shad.
Like, nah, I don't want me on your defense team. Let me tell you, bro. You going to jail. You going to jail if I'm on your defense team.
He said you going to jail. All right. Here's the thing. Here's the reason why I feel as though I don't think that he'll get fired midseason if we're not doing well. I think that he will last the entire season, and then they would do it. One, here's a few reasons why. One, Canales is huge on culture, and he wants to continue to build the culture right, and that could truly be a detriment to a lot of people. Now, if we're like completely trash and like we look absolutely horrible, we're ranked all the same rankings we had last year, then that's a whole different conversation. But me personally, I feel as though culture is huge for Canales, and he knows that could really either bring up or bring down a culture. Now, granted, if we trash and he does Bryson, like, hey, I'm gonna sit you down, I'm gonna fire you because I know I can win this game. That's a whole different conversation. But one thing I will say is they are tethered, bro. They are tethered because yes, he did not choose him. He did not hire him, but he has come out and we have plenty of film to showcase him saying, I wanted to keep Evero because I know what that defense is about. And he said, I wanted him here. I asked him to stay. So when you hear that, bro, knowing that at the end, your boy was out there. Salah was out there, bro. He was out there. He was fired midseason. He was out there. You know, you got that connection. You know that he's a possibility. He runs a 3-4 just like we run a 3-4. That option was there, and he did not choose to do that. And he said, Evero's staying. I mean,
my conspiracy theorist bag says that Tepper is the one saying, "You gonna work with this guy because I want those people." And you gonna, of course, he's gonna go out in the public and say what he needs to say. He's never gonna throw Evero on it, bro. That was historically bad. Bro.
Absolutely, yes, yes.
Given the injuries, even with all that, bro, it was bad.
It was horrible.
And I feel like, and again, kudos to them for sticking with it. Because like you said, it is a culture thing. You want to stick with your guys and all that. I get that. And then, that makes complete sense. But again, if it's me, if I'm representing Canales as I'm his agent.
Okay, here we go. Come on, Shot.
Listen, I'm telling him, hey, look, bro, this is your out. You can get rid of these guys. You gotta cut the you said the tether. You could cut the tether and say, hey, look, I didn't choose these guys, bro. You made me work with these guys. And it's just not working out. I gave it my best shot. I was loyal to the program. But if you want me to take this to the next level, I need the ability to pick my own guy. You seen what I can do. You seen me cook.
Yeah.
You seen what I did with Bryce. I can do it, but I need to get the guy I want to work with. You forced me to work with him, and I did. I tried my best.
Yeah.
But I got to go get somebody else.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give, bro.
Bro, Canales. Call me up, bro. My fee, I take like 0.5%, bro.
Not 0.5%.
Half
a little
percent, bro. Just a little bit, man.
Stop the cap.
You going more than that, bro. You ain't doing no 0.5%. A little bit more than that. We got a little bit more than that. No, I completely agree with everything you're saying, bro. But that's the only reason I look at Jalen Walker and I'm like, he will be amazing. He is like, he give me a little Abdul. You know what I'm saying? A little Micah. You know what I'm saying? A little Hassan Reddick. I think he'll be a great chess piece. Can we use him the right way? So we'll see. Last thing I want to talk about before we move on is about, I saw something about the 106 Park. So let's go into this particular piece. They said that 106 Park may be coming back. This is the 25th anniversary when 106 Park started, bro. Were you a 106 Park guy? Did you come home and watch 106 Park, bro? Or is this just a me thing?
Yeah, no, I was a huge 106 Park guy, but I don't care about it right now. Nobody's watching music videos. I don't know what they would do. So I have no desire to see a reboot of 106 Park, but I was a big 106 Park fan. Shout out to Blind Fury.
Oh, bro, what? Shout out to Blind. Look, shout out to Blind Fury, bro. If you know, you know. If you know, you know, for real. You took my question right out my agenda, bro. Like, I don't think I want to see a reboot. I still watched, the visuals of certain music videos, but it's really on the music videos that I know the artist is very creative on, or they're telling a story or things of that nature. But AJ and Free, that time during 106 Park, hands down, one of like a childhood thing for me. Coming home, throwing on 106 Park, seeing AJ, seeing Free. Then they did a little reboot with Roxy and Terrence. It was okay, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't the exact same, you know what I'm saying? It still had a little bit of the, historical context, but it wasn't the same. But the fact that they are thinking about bringing it back, I don't know who the host will be. I have no idea. That's a whole nother conversation. But I think you should just let this live where it was and move on.
Shout out to Terrence J too, Aggie Pride. He was we were at A&T together. So he's real cool dude.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Terrence J. All right, this has been fun. We ran over a little bit. Once somebody put in the comments on one of the videos, like y'all should go an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm like, yo, we got stuff to do. We got stuff to do. if you know
right,
what I'm saying. But we appreciate all the pregame. We got 140 people in here, man. So shout out to Pregame Gang, man.
Hey, say gang.
We appreciate y'all coming out here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We go live every Thursday at 7:30. And if we don't go live or we have to reschedule, make sure you follow us on X, on wherever, all the social medias, and we'll let you know exactly when we're gonna go live. Or you can just hit that bell notification and you'll know when we go live. But I appreciate you all pulling up to the pregame. We out of here, y'all. Peace.